Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the
Who Cares Podcast.
This again. I'm Cookie,
It's Eshi here.
This is Jello.
and our conversation will revolve around cancel culture. So, Maddie, will you explain what cancel culture is?
All right, cancel culture, such an interesting topic, and this is how we will be canceled from. Now, cancel culture is a complex and multi. Oy, wag niyo kami i-cancel. Do not cancel us. But that's why we are gonna talk about cancel culture to avoid us from being canceled. But it is a multifaceted phenomenon. Oh, iba yung mga pa-description that has evolved. Alam ko kaya ang sinasabi ko. That has, seryoso ni siya ang cancel culture, guys. That has evolved in the age of social media where public shaming, boycotting, and witch hunting are used as tools to hold individuals, organizations, or public figures accountable for their perceived wrongdoings. So,
Wow.
yeah, pag-explain na lang.
Thank you so much, Maddie, Eshi, and ChatGPT.
Yes.
Shut up. But yes, cancel culture is a very eminent and it's a very serious topic, to be honest, because again, it can change someone's life, just like what I mentioned earlier, change it for the better or for the worse. So let's talk about where that cancel culture began. So friend Giles, I know you have another fun fact for us, diba? Professor Giles, yes. Where do you think it originated, or based on your research?
Yeah, well, actually, the woke mentality originated in the U.S. Way back in 2014.
Mhm.
It was during that time when the Black Lives Matter really
Started.
became very big. When even the government are listening to the social injustices that they were receiving, or the persecutions that they were claiming. That since they are the minority in the U.S. So that's where it all started, the woke mentality, because it really means being awake of the social injustices in their surroundings, like calling out, the racial discrimination and whatnot. So that's it. That's where when it all began, and then it spread like wildfire, and in other places.
Exactly. And just to add to that, again, from the woke mentality, I remember there was during that time as well, like the Black Lives Matter, where it started. There was a rapper as well that he produced the music with the lyrics at the very end na "Stay awake." So that's where yung parang na reignite ang the word woke. So stay awake, from everything that's happening with us. Make sure that you're really aware of, how they treat us as the minority. So yeah, Mari, anything you want to add on that?
I think also in understanding cancel culture, to be honest, I have just recently, I didn't really know where it originated. I just heard about it in social media, but noticing and understanding how it operates is basically linking it to really public shaming through parang different opinions from people. So against individuals and public figures. So that's what I understand about cancel culture.
Exactly. And then again, it all boils down to social injustice, like being aware of that and connecting it, from someone's standpoint, from someone's opinion. So there. And then again, in this generation, cancel culture has been magnified through social media,
Yeah,
right? Because
exactly.
if you remember before, shout out to Beckham in Netflix. I was really watching that docu series, and I really saw how cancel culture was before. So it existed. It's just that people were not aware that it was already cancel culture. But we don't have social media back then. That's why it was all in the papers. Like everyone hated Beckham for that. But that's the yung parang early form of cancel culture. Now we have social media, and with one click of a button, you can share a certain article of someone that this community wants to cancel because again of their like opinion that it belongs to social injustice. So let's talk about how cancel culture is in social media, and how it played like a really big role in this kind of phenomenon that we're experiencing with cancel culture. So let's start with you, Marie. You want to start?
Yeah, with social media, what I really noticed is once we decide, like once a person decides, for example, to scrutinize and cancel, whether it can be like an organization, a person, a group, a business, like leaving a bad review to a business, for example, because they were not satisfied of the service or something like that, then they tend to lean into, I can do I can cancel you, I can just scrutinize you in social media. I think number one that they expect when they put it out in social media is that the person should be accountable. However, they should be accountable in a way that is to their favor. So not really understanding their or hearing out the other person's side of the story, but really just posting it out because they want to get what they want out of it. So number one, I think that I have observed in social media in terms of this culture thing is the accountability based on what is acceptable to them, and also really the public scrutiny. Like everything that's being put out there is for the purpose of publicly shaming a person. Or not just a person, not just a social media person, not just an influencer, but anyone they think that they're entitled to do. Parang that's mostly what I have observed in terms of like cancel culture in social media setting.
Exactly. And then one of the yung parang weird things about it or extreme thing about it is that, for example, there's one persona that's currently in a parang scandal, and again in the midst of a cancel culture, everything they said before will be digged up.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, like
Uh-uh.
everyone would research na, hey, this person is like that because of this, blah blah blah, and then everything from their past will just be unveiled to public. What do you call that? Yung parang to public. Yun nga, scrutiny, just like what Eshi said. Ishi. Hindi po tayo matatapos dyan. Ishi na ishi talaga siya. And then, we have to admit, cancel culture is also, as mere spectators, we also have like our own, yung parang, we're also guilty of something as
True.
spectators, right? You wanna discuss that, friend? Cancel culture as like a form of entertainment for the
Yeah.
spectators.
But I just want to add with regards to the accountability and the public scrutiny first, but just what like she observed ba na when people are canceling someone or or an organization, kana ganing murag sa movie ni Spider-Man ba na kanang with great power comes great responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So especially with these influencers these days ba no nga kanang they if someone is kanang being hyped about or something nga kanang they just jump into bandwagon ba nga kanang without even considering gani what will it be and the impact, in calling out these people or this organization nga wala ang accountability kana ganing murag is it just only for the clout, just for kana ganing murag wala ang empathy ani nga kuan ba we just kanang cancel them nga without kanang knowing the whole truth ba nga supposedly nga when you share something gani you have to consider ba na you should approach it in a holistic manner ba nga you have to know the whole truth first and not just part of the truth kay because it will kanang mubalik man gihapon ni siya sa imuha, 'di ba? A lot of 'di ba it has been kanang proven time and time again na kanang those people na who doesn't kanang care about accountability nga who just wants to be noticed lang ba nga kana ganing mubalik gihapon sa ilaha, 'di ba? And they will pay for it dearly pud gyud, 'di ba nga kay so we have to really be careful about posting or canceling someone kay lisod pud siya kaayo, 'di ba? You might regret it, 'di ba? So as to sa cancel culture as entertainment pod, I mean, I for one is kana pong guilty.
Yeah,
Yeah, kay
same.
'di ba kanang murag kita no kanang pag naay pag naay ka ng mga viral na mga issues, 'di ba? Nga kanang hala labi na especially kung celebrity or someone we know. Yeah, because kana ganing murag I think that's also the algorithm of the social media ba nga kanang it feeds your kanang curiosity na I tingling something inside of you ba na kanang you really have to know gani nga kanang even if it's just for like reading all the comments, 'di ba? Kanang
Yes.
even if it's not really engaging directly ba, pero somewhat gikatawan nato ang iyahang situation, 'di ba? Kana ganing uh, murag da mirisi ra po di ay ngano bang
Ouch,
diba?
na guilty na ko.
I think all of us are guilty of it one way or another, 'di ba? Nga kanang murag I think it would be hypocritical of us na kanang murag dili ta moingon ta nga kanang wala na engage sa ani nga klase nga entertainment gani sa cancel culture sadly nga ing ato.
It has been a form of entertainment good because I remember one example I have of a cancel culture is kaning si Pirates of the Caribbean ba?
Yeah.
Sige lagi kong kalimot.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp and the other girl na gina-cancel,
Heard.
Amber Heard, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Ginapa-remove siya sa kay 'di ba murag whatever it is, whatever is true for them, whatever is proven in court could be whatever is true, pero wala man ta nag-uban sa ilaha 24/7. We really don't
Exactly.
know the real thing. There can be half truth to it or what not, pero kanang 'di ba si Amber Heard was removed from the movie, was really scrutinized, had to move to a different country, mga anak good. Maskin pa wala ko nag-input o naghatag og opinion in social media, but then I was so entertained gyud na-entertain like na-invest gyud ko ato for how many like mo puto siya ang conversation in group chats na murag uy kabagan niyag nung like na meme pa ihang face. So naging ano gyud siya ba na somehow you really have to be cautious ba of what parang what energy is it giving you? Is it giving you hate? So if it's giving you na hate, that's not useful na of your something useful na of your time. Murag ana good. So yeah, it's been a form of entertainment good sadly.
And same with Eshi. I'm very, what do you call that? Very guilty of that as well because I think I lost sight of the fact that these are like real people, whether they are
Correct.
celebrities, influencers. These are people with family, with personal lives, and they became a form of entertainment in a very negative way. And I think it's really more on you just being aware that these are still human. You know, we lose our, what do you call that, our compassionate nature once we know na like these people are at the top because we know that they have achieved something, so they're easily a target of not fun conversation, which is again part of cancel culture. So there, and then the thing about this is once you are a parang public figure, everything you say, everything that you do is really exposed to the media, in social media, and we have to admit we're human. We're really not perfect. The sad thing about these people is that they are in the public eye. So everything that they will say will be scrutinized, especially if they're in a in a certain situation or sensitive situation. And then to be honest, we're also human. It's just that we're private, right? Like everything we say is just really to our friends. It's not recorded, but again, there are moments wherein we are not careful. The thing is, they do it publicly, us it's privately. So I think it's one of the things that we fail to see as well. You know, as
Si Jello lang gid ang perfect.
yeah, si Jello lang po talaga ang perfect. But-
Pero I would like to add ba with regards to the public figure nga kana ganing because of the advent of social media, di ba? All of their actions are being magnified, and then these people who are into cancel culture ba kana ganing most of them they just pick the kanang nitpicking gani and then they magnify it, di ba? Nga kana ganing murag pwede man pud tingali nga kanang if you want to kuan ba kanang dili man pud tingali maayo nga kanang ing ato gid gani dapat dayon ang imuhang iwan. It doesn't necessarily mean na you are a public figure, all of your lives will be thrown out in the open pod, di ba? Kay they deserve some privacy man pod, di ba?
But then if they're so private, murag ano po sila, too private, you're not sharing too
Diba?
much.
No,
It's so
anak
difficult
pod.
good
So,
for them, yeah.
And
People-
difficult ang mag-find og balance ba no when you are in the public eyes pod ba?
Naglisod gid ka, Jel.
Sa una,
No?
nato gani murag
Hirap
nahawa
no,
na
mo
kita.
na private life na lang
private
gid ka.
na gyud.
Amazing. Di ka
Eh,
ma-cancel, it's okay.
Makancel na kita.
Oh my gosh! Huwag naman po. Episode 6 pa lang po kami. Charot. But yeah, so what you call that again? Us as spectators, we're also guilty, even though we're not like technically participating with comments and all, but we laugh at the situation, which also makes us like guilty as part of the cancel culture. The next one is really about like how people participate in cancel culture. When they see a situation, they share right away, share their opinion again as reactive responses, even though like we really don't know the root of the whole situation. So, what can you say about it, Frangels?
Yeah, sadly, people these days are, yeah, as what you said, very reactive of some certain topics that they are into. Like, diba, supposedly, before we click unta or before we comment, we have to know the other side of the truth ba kay diba, as what they say kanang, and there are always two sides of the story mangyud. But right now manggud ang mga tao gani sa ka-reactive nila kana ganing murag kato kanang they have this, mapansin ako no na people have this urge nga kanang they are entitled gani somewhat of your life gani nga, even if wala sila say supposedly sa imuhang life, pero murag sa ginagara pa murag pala desisyon na kay ka sa akong kinabuhi kanang ingana gani nga kanang murag wala gid yata ka naka-contribute maski piso tingali sa iyahang ano, di ba, kanang sa iyahang daily meal ba or whatever nga, maskin pag public figure siya or maskin pag na viral lang ni siya for whatever reason, di ba, nga kana ganing mawala sa atua ang kana ganing sense of humanity nato, instead of butangan nato nig tubig para mo die down ang situation, ang gusto nato no kayab-an di siya gas para magdilaab. Di ba, kanang wala na nato naisip ba na what if kaya kita ang naa sa ani nga situation ba, no, nga unsa pud kaya ang imuhang ma-feel ba, 'di ba, nga kanang I think people should also be mindful ba nga tinuod ginang kana ganing karon nga karma is digital kanang ing ana, 'di ba, nga kanang murag automatic na gid siya. So kato nga we have to really be careful pod kay bilog ang mundo gani, 'di ba, sometimes naa ka sa ing ani na klase nga sitwasyon nga which is kanang comfortable, layo ka sa mga intriga or something, pero what if kung moabot na pud ka sa ing ato. So I think people should be more empathic pud ba sa ilahang engaging sa ilahang reaction sa social media, nga dapat pud isipon nato ba na kanang ibutang po nato atong shoes sa ilaha, 'di ba, kay it will not make of us less as a human being kung mo engage ko ani nga klase na kanang comments, makatabang ba nito daydan or maging mas init pa ang ano, 'di ba. So we have to really be careful especially right now because wala kita kabalo kung unsa pud ang ginaagian atong tawhana to nga naa sa spotlight.
That's a really good perspective, friend. Like, putting yourself on exactly on that person's shoe if that would happen to you. How about you, Maddie? Like, again, I'm talking about how people react to these like situations wherein it would cause someone to be canceled.
I think we should really just we are all quick to judge. We are so quick to judge because it's human nature. It's innate na murag makareacta. Depende siguro sa atong mood na murag, unsa naman pud ni siya? And then it's so easy to just quickly share it without really murag knowing the facts. Murag ana good. So I think just what I do is di ni siya Viva Films related. What I do is I cancel them in my head. So ginabuhat good gapon ako siya, but not in a rude way. Pero dili ko naga-contribute with ako tinuod. The truth is nagabasa ko comments. So anything that I find interesting sa mga posts like mura lagi ni siya balik-balik sa ako ang feed. So I read comments and then I get entertained and then I assess myself, time pa murag hate na lagi ni siya or something. Pero gina-cancel na ako sa ako ang mind na di ni siya maayos ako. You can always, social media always has ways to like, you can choose to report if feeling nimo fake news ni siya or dili ni siya helpful or something. You can do that if mao gid na siya imong advocacy in life na murag, ay, I want kindness in the world, heal the world, make it a better place. Murag ana ang imong advocacy, wala problema. Pero pares na ako nga tamad ko. I take care of myself only. I cancel them in my head. Like di na ko ni siya i-tolerate nga information. So dili pud na ako i-feed ang akong sarili ana. So I don't react to it because wala po ko time to educate myself about it. Morgana good. So don't be reactive about something na wala kay full grasp about. So because according, like I really like what you said, Jel, na let's be empathetic. Let's start with kindness because we really don't know where this is all coming from. There is mga bad situations or bad people think na, or bad people are doing bad things, but on their side they thought it was good because lahi po din ang intention. So you really don't know what's the thought behind it, diba? So sometimes murag lahi kay siya angle sa ato pero lahi po siya nga perspective sa lain. So just maybe start with kindness, maybe work something out with yourself and really not do it for ano lang, for the cloud. It's so easy lang to make like to click on that share button and then it changes someone else's life because of, because of the negative impact that you have contributed to it. So yeah.
Exactly. And I like what you said, Maddie, wherein, again, the person sharing or posting on their mind, they're like really in the right position. So that's a really good perspective as well. For me, I also, what do you call that? I see a lot of, because I have friends as well who share. That's why you're also like informed. Oh, so this is the latest. This is what's trending as of the moment. And then one of the things that would really like struck me when I read how they share that certain topic is they also like relate it to their own moral standards, if that makes sense. And sometimes the comments are very hateful, as I would say. And this is a common, yung parang quote wherein hurt people, right? It's not necessarily right to like what do you call that? Project your own yung parang hurt towards a certain topic, and again that would start the cancel culture. But there's a reason as well why they tend to react that way. It's just that again, we don't really have that solid foundation na what's really the cause of that certain issue. Now, why do we have to cancel? Why do we have to like really react in a very hateful way? Why is there a really big urge na, uy, dapat yun ni siya ma-cancel? Like, kana ganing, there's really that big conviction in them that if this person gets canceled, then it's we got justice. Ana gani siya. Like, once we publicly shame someone, then that's justice, which is not necessarily right. So let's, just like what Eshi and Jello said, let's be mindful of what we share, of what we say, because everything in social media is really recorded. And in the future, if you have kids and they will see those kind of comments, I'm not sure how they would react to how you reacted that way. So it's a cycle. It's a cycle of hate once we really like fuel cancel culture, if that makes sense. Okay. So again, that's cancel culture in social media. And the next one is all about, because we cancel culture is like the entire social media community. So it's sometimes impossible to say that we have to stop cancel culture, but we really have to start, within ourselves. So how do we manage like us participating in, again, this cancel culture currently? So, friend, would you like to share your thoughts about it?
Okay. Yeah. Very nice na ano no. Kanang educate and awareness kay, because for me, number one, if you are in the shoes of the one being cancelled, so first thing is um dili siya dili sa yun nga i-cancel ka kung if you know who you are as a person, 'di ba? If you are grounded with your truth, 'di ba, and your principles. So I think for those people nga who are into canceling gani, really they should ask themselves, ba nganong kailangan man ako mag-engage into cancel culture, 'di ba? What does it do to me if I engage into something like this? Normally man good, it expends a lot of energy when you are into this kind of kana ganing behavior, 'di ba? Nga kanang some people are even kanang making alter accounts kay para lang gid maka-engage sa kanang sa cancel culture,
Di ko
or
kasabot ana ay.
no, 'di ba? I think
The effort, ha?
murag lahi na pud yata na siya nga klase nga kanang murag problema, 'di ba? Kanang when you really are invested into this kanang behavior ba pattern gani, murag behavioral pattern ba murag lahi ra pod. Pero as what I've said, kanang dapat good we have to, in retrospect ba, let's ask ourselves kung does it contribute kanang something good in me if I engage into something like this, 'di ba? Maybe for me, unless if it's like that your intention good on canceling someone, although if it's the connotation man gud sa cancel culture good is negative man good siya, 'di ba? But if you're just calling out someone or something na kana ganing need pud good siya, like 'di ba, like for the environment or for the government system or whatever nga kanang for the benefits sa kanang whole community ba, 'di ba, no? Kay so muna ba nga kanang i-ask nato ato ang self nga what is my intention when I engage into this kind of kanang pattern na lisod man pud good siya ko ganing murag mo jump ka into bandwagon nga kanang wala pud kakabalo unsa ang kamatuoran ang the whole truth, 'di ba? Kay eventually mura na siya kanang mapasok ka og appeal ba, 'di ba? Nga kanang naaga na gani kalayo dira kabalo ka nga mapasok ka nganong kailangan magid ani mo gunitan ang kalayo, 'di ba? Murag di man kasi human torch nga kanang dili ta mapasok sa kanang kuan, pero seriously let's be aware of our kanang mga ginapanghimo nato sa social media ba, kay kana lagi no sa karon nga age, although easier said than done gyud siya, kay one way or another we are guilty of this ba, pero 'di ba as human being check bud nato nga to ang principles, 'di ba, kanang where do we stand on this kind of issue nga kanang murag we have to choose our battles pod, kung if it's sa imong giingon gani kanina Ash na kanang if it's giving me hate na murag I think I need to stop, kay unsay tawag ana dili naman siya maayo sa imuha, 'di ba, unless if it's just like murag lingaw-lingaw lang, but if it's like you making a lot of alter accounts kay para lang gyud mo engage sa ing-ani na klase nga kanang topic, isog ra kaayo di ay ka sa social media, pero kung if you are being challenged to a kanang healthy conversation or kanang i-challenge pud ang imuhang topic or yung views nimo mukakak po di ay ka, 'di ba? Ang ana pud ba, so if your intention is really true or kanang genuine ang imong intention for the betterment of whatever kind of kanang topic you are into, then stand for it, 'di ba? Stand by it nga kana ganing mo man ang ako ang truth, so then so suportahi pud og tarong imong claims, 'di ba, kay para i-back up pud ni siya og kana ganing kung sa science pa na dapat naakay ka ng mga pila ka klase nga mga test ba, 'di ba, nga kana ganing murag dili lang kay kanang kuan-kuan lang, oh dili lang kay kanang para ingnon lang ka nga kanang naalang gid kay ma-contribute sa something, 'di ba, kay mauna man na siya ang murag unfortunately nato nga trend karon nga basta lang kay maka-contribute ka oging ana, so be mindful yun.
Nice. I like the part where you said, friend, na we can use our like social media in a better way. For example, again, when we talk about issues about what do you call that? The greenhouse gases, right? Global warming. We could talk about that. How about you, Mari? What's your opinion again? Like how do we manage be participating in cancel culture?
Education good. So really educate yourself and then think if it's something, some people are just really very passionate about some certain topics, and we respect that. Like during the elections, for example, grabe, si Noel actually is no longer it's a ghost account ang iyang Facebook. Some people at some point my Facebook is a ghost account because I was just observing, and there's just too much hate. Like even people that are close to me, friends, are really like reacting negatively just because they don't agree to other people's opinion. I think the way to manage whenever you encounter those type of cancel culture is to really lay down your thoughts properly. Like it just in a relationship, right? When you fight with someone, dili ka fist fight. That's not how you win. You win through proper communication and really laying down the foundations of what are the reasons why you disagree, what are the reasons why mga point number 1, point number 2. There is always a better way to do it if you are the person na very like I'm strong about this, like what you said, Jel. If mo gyud na siya imong principle, then we all respect, di ba? Ang uban nagaingon, this is my wall, ngano magbuot man mo unsa akong ibutang sa akong wall, pero wall lamang gud siya. Pero it's like what you said, hurt people. Like it's a reflection of you. It's not even a reflection of the person you're trying to hate anymore. Whatever you say, thinkers doers ba, 'di ba? Kung unsa man ang imuhang ginabuhat niya, that's because it could be just your opinion. So all boils down to proper education and proper laying down of how you communicate it and how you say it in social media and how you contribute to that specific information that you're sharing. So yeah, and then that basically.
Yeah, 100% agree with that, Mari. And then in with the term awareness, you have to be very, like, what you call that, in tune with yourself. Like, when I share this, just like what you said, friend, what's going to be the impact of this, like, to, your friends or in social media? Will this have like a negative impact? Will it help someone? So you really have to be aware of because you might say, gamay lang bitaw akong friends, blah blah blah. In any way, you have people watching you. You still can influence someone. You don't know that. So whenever you share, whenever you comment, with Facebook man good is that if there's like a certain, yung parang like a very, what you call that, like a viral post, kung friends mo atong nag-comment, the first comment that they will see is like yung friend mo. I'm not sure if
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
familiar with
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah, I know.
Exactly. So, for example, they see someone na, okay, especially if it's like really hateful, very personal, below the belt, your friends can definitely see that. And the way you reacted to that, like, incident or that issue reflects of who you are as a person. So you have to be aware of that as well. Um, I think that's like how I would how I manage myself when it comes to like really reacting to any issue that would cause someone to be canceled. And then of course, another way for us to really manage cancel culture is really to resist the urge, right? To like escalate things, just like what you mentioned,
Make it
adding,
bigger.
yeah, like
Yeah.
adding fuel to the fire. So how do we do that, friend?
Yeah, I think for me is let's not forget na kanang even if the truth will set you free, but not all truth are meant to be said mampud good, 'di ba? Kay because some people they cannot handle the truth ba? So we have to be really careful kay anyway kung gusto lang mampud nato nga ipaabot gud ang ato ang truth, kung like for example you have someone nga kanang gusto gid nimo ni ipahibalo sa iyaha, you can just message him or her directly or better
Mm.
yet approach him or her personally.
Yeah, if you know the
Diba?
person, 'di ba?
Oo, kay kanang katugyod mo gina ako ang ginaingon ba nga kanang ang social media will never be a platform for airing out grievances or whatever negative feelings that you have inside gyud. We should always remember that. Kay we have learned it the hard way way back, pero I was not the one nga kanang directly kanang nagbuhat ato ba, pero part mi atong sa naapektuhan pod ba, no? So that's why I really kanang tell my friends nga kanang don't kanang put your dirty laundry on social media ba, ana lang gyud dapat kay kanang with social media karon ba gamay na kayo ang kalibutan gani, no, na kanang pwede na ka makita murag telescope na ang imong life ba. So kuan lang gyud, yeah, just be mindful of your choices, no. Mura na pud na siya kana ganing kanang finding looking for the balance ba in life para ma-avoid pud ta nga kita ang ma-put into spotlight gani, 'di ba? Kay kung dili gani nato gusto nga kanang istoryahan ng ato ang life sa, 'di ba, sa community nato. So we have to be careful of the kanang things that we do and we share in social media.
100% agree. Diba? How about
Yeah.
you, Mari? How do you resist the urge?
Resist the urge to escalate because I like the word there is spotlight. When you share something, the spotlight is on you. All eyes on me in a circle. Murag karaoke na gini ako ang podcast ay. On the circle. Ingon si Britney Spears, all eyes on me in the circle of the ring, just like a circus. If you're not a monkey, don't join the circus. If you don't call the shots, don't join the circus. So also, when you share something and you parang you contributed to making it big, maskin pa you're not educated about it, remember that nabasa na po na ako siya na quote, pero di na ni siya kay Britney. But what Susie says of Sally says more of Sally than of Susie. Remember that. It says more of you and not about the person that you're trying to hate on. So it's a reflection of you. So really be mindful and be aware of that, and just resist the urge. And why not share good things? Hello. It's not all
Exactly.
about you after all. Who
Yeah.
cares
True.
about you?
Um, Maka-cancel na po talaga kami.
Alam mo, cancel na kita. Oh, we care about you. That's why we're talking about this.
Cancel
Just
na kita,
share,
hapit
ano,
anima di.
Just share cat memes na lang talaga. Charot lang. For me, I would really apply like my principles or my moral standings as a Christian. Na when Jesus said, to the woman who committed adultery, if you're not guilty of any sin or anything, then throw the first stone. And then what did the people do? Like isa-isa gid sila ng lakaw, because again, everyone is guilty. So same with us. When we post, when we comment, it's like we're throwing stone at the person, and us really feeling na perfect ko. So I can do this. I can throw that. I can, and then another thing really is, what do you call that? With everything that you, I think this would also like go with what Jello said na digital karma. What do you call that? Whatever you throw out in there, I believe there's a way wherein it will come back to you. So if there's any spoken word that was in a form of hate, that will come back to you in a different form. So what do you call that? Let's just be very careful. And then the mo this will also affect like the person that we're canceling in a very hurtful way. Again, we talked about mental health in our previous what do you call that, in our previous episodes, and we don't want to be part of that cause why that person had a mental breakdown or something like that. Because again, you really have to look at the humanity of someone. They're not just there for the spectacle. They did not even want, I'm not sure, but I think there are people na intentionally wanted to be canceled for the clout, for the fame. But there are people who just generally, I mean, who just honestly did a mistake na they did not mean. So we really have to, what do you call that, compassionate. Part of like being a Christian as well is really forgiving people. So if you are a Christian, if you believe in God, you have to really like think, is this really reflecting my faith? So there. And what do you call that, canceling should be done, what do you call it shouldn't be, I don't want to like misuse the word cancel, but let's use it in a more relevant like scenario. For example, again, global warming, we have wars going on, and you putting your energy to someone who said something na might be considered stupid is again a waste of energy. So be mindful of everything that you post, that you do. So there. Anyways, friend, do you want anything? Are we
I want coffee na.
coffee na tayo? Yeah, so that again wraps our episode about cancel culture. We're very
So good.
we're
Yeah.
very, what do you call that, invested in talking about this, because it's very rampant in social media, and again, it destroys lives. We have to be very honest of that. Again, it's complex. That's why we have to like make sure that we don't add fuel to the fire of cancel culture. And again, it's not going away soon, but you have to be aware that whatever you do in social media, whether you support, whether you disagree, you hate, it's there forever. So I hope this episode really provided you with better understanding of what cancel culture is. And as always, if you have reached this part of the podcast, thank you so much for
Thank
listening.
you.
And Mari, do you wanna
Thank you so much for reaching this far. This is just episode 6, right? Oh,
Yeah.
we're so proud, guys. Please, if you have been listening, don't gutom. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave us a comment. We'd love to
Yes, yes,
hear
yes.
your opinions as well.
Mhm.
Your cancelled
Ayaw lang
your
i-cancel.
ideas about cancel culture as well, Jel.
Yeah. And also promote our page para mas madaghan na mong subscribers.
Yes. Lovely.
Wow, diba? Talagang ano tayo? Shameless plug po ito.
Yes.
But yes, thank you again for all your support. And again, cancel culture is a real thing, but who
Who cares?
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
See you on the next episode. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Bye-bye.